Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Join us on Twitter, Cascade Hoop Talk. Hey, we're thrilled today to have TreVion Cruz, Bethel Pilots out of the Crossroads. TreVion scored almost 800 points and dished out almost 200 assists this season. He scored over 1,400 points in just 2 years as a Pilot. TreVion was named a first-team All-American as well this season. Welcome, TreVion. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, TreVion, you were an all-state player. You went to Fort Wayne North Side. You had a stellar senior season. You guys were 24-2. You won a sectional title. You just talk about your high school experience up there in Fort Wayne.
It was real good. I was blessed to be coached by Shabazz Khalik, who is now at Richmond High School. The team that I had was very well put together. A bunch of guys who was together since my freshman year, so it made it that much more fun to accomplish the things we accomplished my senior year. And I think we all just enjoyed playing with each other, which was, most fun for us.
I read that as a junior against Broad Ripple, you dished out 16 assists. Have you always been the man to distribute the ball?
Yeah, that's always been my number one thing. I always feel like getting guys involved is, my number one priority. So, yeah, I love to pass. I love to get guys open. I love to get easy buckets for other people.
So after high school, you ended up playing some junior college ball before you ended up at Bethel. Talk about your JC experience.
Yeah, I attended Jackson Community College after I left Northside. And I only got to play one semester just because of academic reasons. But the one semester that I did play was very well. I think I averaged something around like 25 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. So it was actually pretty good. I thought I was going to make a push in the junior college league, but it ended up didn't work out my way, and I ended up having to sit out another year after that.
So how did you eventually find your way to Bethel, which has turned out to be a fantastic home for you?
Yeah, so my brother TreVion Covington went to Bethel. He graduated from Bethel, and at the time, Ryan Lightfoot, who was the assistant coach, was talking to me while I was sitting out and taking classes at Kellogg Community College in Battle Creek. So then he just, talked to me about getting my grades right, and he'd give me the opportunity if I was able to get the credits that was needed to get. So I did that, and I was able to come up and redshirt for my freshman year.
So, TreVion, I have a question. So this year you talked about Ryan Lightfoot, and then this year you had a coaching change. Steve Draben came in. How did things change with Coach Draben? How did you feel about the team coming into this season?
I think things changed dramatically just because of the two different type of personalities they are. Ryan is more of a on court, hard-nosed coach who will get on you 24/7. And then I think Draben is a more laid-back and more technical type of guy who, he will still get on you, but it's more about, the X's and O's with him. And I think just the team that we brought in, was pretty good, but we just didn't have enough time to, get together and get clicking like the way that we thought we should. We won a lot of games, but I feel like we could have won a lot more if our chemistry was better.
Well, TreVion, I want to walk through the season, but before I do, I know you had some ups and downs this season. You just alluded to them, but I want to say being a first-team All-American as a junior, that's a tremendous honor. And I just want to tell you congratulations on such a prestigious award.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So this season, you came in, we talked about you had a coaching change. You started out 8-0 going into Crossroads play. How did you feel about the team going into league play?
I felt good. I feel like we competed very well. We played against some of the top teams in the other conferences. So that was good for us. But I knew that, knowing that we have the toughest conference in the nation, that it was going to be tough to go in and play against our teams that are in our conference. So I knew it was going to be a different type of field once we got into Crossroads League.
And speaking of Crossroads League, I couldn't wait to talk to you because I wanted to ask you about this game. Your first Crossroads game was against St. Francis. Was that at St. Francis? Remind me, TreVion.
It was at Bethel.
It was at Bethel. So you went up 20 with just over 8 minutes to go. And then, boy, it really got interesting after that. For one thing, Jeffrey Reynolds and Antoine Cushenberry, I counted it up. They scored 33 points in the last 9 minutes. But you just talk about the kind of the last 5-8 minutes of that game. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was. It just shows, like I said, how tough our conference is. That team, like you said, we were up 20 and, we thought we had it in the bag, but that team just never gave up. And that's how all the teams are in our conference. They just never give up. And, they just kept making a push, and kept trying. And then we got hit with an opportunity to, take the lead by my 3-pointer. So, I went on and took the shot.
That was I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'll say it. That you hit that 3. That was an apparent game winner. The game was tied. Just watching the game, I thought the buzzer went off just like everybody else did, and your team ran on the court, and you got a technical.
Yep.
Now again, TreVion, I don't want to get you in trouble, but personally, I thought that was a situation where you just say, "Guys, sit down," but you got a technical. And then so Cushenberry nails 2, and then Jeffrey Reynolds get an opportunity to hit a 3, could have won it. I mean, what were you thinking at that point?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. I would have been really upset if we lost that game because of technical.
Yeah, that was a wild game. Now, if that wasn't wild enough, just 4 days later, you go over to Spring Arbor, and again, you were up in the second half though. And then do you remember they started putting a lot of backcourt pressure on you in the last minute? And then they got a couple of steals. Luke Barber hit a 3, and then on a steal, Peyton DeWilt hit a 2, and I think that gave them a 1-point lead with probably 6 seconds to go. And I don't think you guys had a timeout. So tell us what happened in that last 6 seconds.
Yeah, so 6 seconds to go. I just tried to tell Gavin, who was taking the ball out, just hurry up and get the ball out. Obviously, the team was trying to run back on defense, and I felt like I can get up the court faster than they can run back on D. So I did. I got to a spot that I really liked, which was on the wings, and I just, let it go.
Talk about, I don't know if you could even explain it, but when I watch you and when other people watch you, that's the time of the game when you seem the most dangerous, that when the game's on the line and your team needs a bucket. Why do you think you always are able to come through in those situations?
I think it's just because I give myself so many options. I don't have to just settle for the 3. I can take a mid-range as well, or I can drive, do a layup, or dish it off to my guys. So I just feel like I'm dangerous just because I get so many options when I have the ball in my hands during that situation.
Can you give us a sense of how you felt when Spring Arbor got that second steal and DeWilt hit that 2 to give them the lead?
Yeah, I wasn't so upset at the fact that he stole it and did the layup. I think I was more upset at myself because I didn't get open for Gavin to make a great pass. I kind of put him in a bad position to throw a terrible pass. So I was more mad at myself than I was at him.
Well, before I leave those 2 games, are you catching a train out west, TreVion?
Yeah.
Before I leave those 2 games, in your whole life, will you ever forget those 2 games?
Never. I will never forget those games.
They were amazing. So you played those 2 games. I think you went and you won at Taylor. You won some play, but then you went into non-conference. You won all your non-conference game over the holidays. And so you come into January, you're 15-0, and you go up to Marion. You got to play Indiana Wesleyan. Yep. And again, you were up by 10 with like 4.5 to go. But this time you weren't so lucky. What do you remember about the last few minutes of that game?
Yeah, I just remember us continue to, we kept fighting, continue to claw. Just like them, we were up 10 and, they kept fighting. And I just keep talking about how good our league is. Like, just teams just won't give up. And I know that we lost the league, ended up losing the league with a couple minutes to go. But, we kept fighting. We kept trying to, dig back in. And I just remember a couple loose balls and rebounds that didn't go our way. Shots didn't fall, like it did in the first half. So, just a lot of stuff that, we could have put together.
That was your first loss of the season. What was that bus ride back to school like?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Guys were really hurt, and it kind of got to a lot of people, and it kind of built a little fire, for us.
You lost that game, and then you end up falling to Grace, which was kind of a surprise team like you guys as well. After January, it seemed like you guys struggled a bit more. Well, you did. You struggled more than you did in the first half of the season. Do you think teams started guarding you different or playing you different? What do you think changed in that second half?
I just think we had a lot of stuff that had nothing to do on the court. A lot of people, got injured. Then a lot of people were crazy sick. Like, I don't know what was going on around Mishawaka, but like half my team was sick,
Okay.
just off, it was just ridiculous. So, adding in new guys and trying to give people bigger roles was just, at that time of our season was just a little crazy. And, it just put us in a bad position.
And didn't Grant get hurt for a little while? Wasn't he out a few games as well?
Yeah. Grant was done. He tore his, messed up his ankles super bad.
Yeah,
Jared did the same thing.
That was a big loss for you. While we're talking about your teammates, you had a true freshman, Max Newman, had a heck of a year. How good was he for a true freshman?
Yeah, Max was really good. He was listening to me when I was talking to him one-on-ones. He was coachable he did the things we needed him to do.
You played through that. You talked about sickness. You had injuries, and then the Crossroad Tournament comes because it's a chance to redeem yourself. It's pretty much a brand new season, and you had to start out. You had to go up to Indianapolis and play Marion. They were ranked 5th in the nation. What did you think your chances were going up to Marion?
Up
to Indianapolis. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we felt like we can win all 3 games. We went into Marion, thinking that we can beat that team, if we all stuck to what we know we can do and, contribute to the win. So, that's what we did.
And you were able to beat them. And if I remember, you beat them by 8. It was relatively decisive. It wasn't really a close game down the stretch. So you must have felt pretty good coming out of there.
Yeah, we did.
Because then you went over to Taylor and you just thumped them.
Yeah, well, we got. It was actually kind of a slow start though. We didn't get going until the second half.
So you got done at Taylor, and then you were going to play for the championship, and you were going to have to go back to Marion and play Indiana Wesleyan.
Mm-hmm.
This was a great opportunity. You guys really, hats off that you guys were able to regroup and get to that Crossroads League championship. What were you thinking heading up to Indiana Wesleyan?
I think all the guys were super pumped and ready to play. Just, with this team, it was just being able to not be complacent and be able to get hit in the mouth and bounce back from it. That was just our problem towards the second half of the year. Like teams will, make a run on us and we wouldn't know how to respond. So, Indiana Wesleyan did that, and we just didn't pick it back up after that in the second half, and they took off to a 20-point lead after that. Yeah,
they had a really good team this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So you kind of had kind of a tale of 2 seasons almost. What lessons, or what do you think? Because you're going to go back for another year. What lessons do you think you'll take from this season into next season?
I'd just say just never giving up, knowing that, teams are going to fight. The teams that won it are going to fight. And, we just got to have a mindset that, no team is done. And we just keep pounding away and keep finding a way to put the teams away. But, we did a terrible job this year of doing that. And that's why the L's started to pile up.
TreVion, what has it meant to you to be a part of Bethel Pilot basketball?
It meant a lot. I mean, like I said, my brother graduated from Bethel, so I wanted to do that as well. With that opportunity, Bethel has a great tradition, and working hard and building character, and I just wanted to be a part of that and change the way that I go about my life.
Well, I think I speak for everybody that everybody enjoyed watching you this year. We look forward to being able to watch you again. Like I say, it's a great honor to be a first-team All-American that junior year and then coming back. I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, TreVion. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you.